Hello everyone! Alright, in this video, let's head to the earliest days of coinage, between the 7th and the early 6th centuries BC, and take a look at some of the very first coins ever made. The similarities between these coins and simple gold nuggets, like those someone could find in a riverbed, is remarkable. The coins we're looking at today come from the regions of Lydia and Ionia, in what is modern-day Western Turkey. The Pactolus River that passes through these regions has always been a source of precious metals for the locals. Nuggets of Electrum, a natural mix of gold and silver, rolled down the streams in abundance and were extracted from the river by the locals and used in commerce. The local merchants that used these nuggets as money faced a series of issues. Since these are made out of a mix of silver and gold, and each metal had a very different value, how could they tell how much of each metal was in each individual piece? Did they have to weight each nugget in each transaction? Precious metal has intrinsic value in itself, absolutely, but the lack of well-established standards for weights and metal purity needed to be solved. The solution came with the first real coins, instruments of trade that had a standardized weight, a standardized metal purity, and had their quality guaranteed by their issuing entity. Who or what this first issuing entity was, we aren't exactly sure. It could have been one or a group of rich local merchants who decided to melt down their Electrum nuggets and then remake them into ingots of regular weight and a fixed gold to silver alloy that was previously agreed upon. Adding symbols to these ingots was also important as a sign, an external sign of their quality that people could look at. Others believe that the Lydian king Aliates, who ruled between 635 and 585 BC, was the one who came up with this new concept of coins, after receiving complaints from the local merchants that order needed to be established in the monetary standard they used in his kingdom. With that said, let's look at our first coin of today, a trite, a third part of the stater, the standard coin, struck either by Aliates himself or by Croesus, his son. This coin was struck at their capital, Sardis. As the state established the monopoly over the production of money, it granted itself the right to profit from this activity. This is called seigniorage, from the French seigneur, meaning lord, as a way of demanding payment for the service of enforcing the monetary standard on the land and making the coins. These Electrum pieces show a considerably lower gold content compared to the natural nuggets found in the local rivers, indicating the Lydians added a good amount of silver in the coins, forcing their acceptance for an artificially inflated value. On its obverse, we have the lion, symbol of the Lydian kings, as the first official design on a coin. The first symbol that this wasn't just an ingot of Electrum, but a coin with its value backed by the force of a state. The reverse shows nothing but an incus punch. This punch went all the way to the center of the coin. It was a way of showing the coin was made out of good metal all the way to its core, that the state wasn't cheating on anyone. Sadly for Croesus, as soon as coins were invented, the first fake coins were also created, as lots of these plated forgeries of these coins have been discovered with the punch and all. Soon the use of this incus punch would just be discontinued. Next, let's head to the west of Lydia. The Greek city-states in the region of Ionia seem to have liked this concept of coins, as they started making their own. The earliest Ionian coins are almost contemporary to the Lydian pieces, with the earliest Greek pieces dating just a few decades after the Lydians made their own first coins. The city of Phocaea was the earliest adopter of coins in the region, developing its own monetary standard that would be adopted by other cities in the vicinity. Here we have a tiny little Phocaean 1/24th of a stater. A full stater was an enormous sum of money, as much as 6 months of work, so even small coins like this one which weighs just 0.7 grams, was a considerable amount of cash concentrated in a tiny little coin. These are dated between 620 and 520 BC. Having just 7 millimeters of space meant they couldn't do a whole lot as far as designs went. Let's try to digest what we're seeing here. On the left side, there is some sort of pointy thing. Then at the center, we have a single pellet, which might be an eye. And then to the right, there are 3 other pellets. There are 2 interpretations as to what is on this obverse. It could either be a seal, as larger Phocaean coins of the time feature a seal on the obverse, but it could also be the head of an eagle. Let me know in the comment section what do you think. I personally think it's an eagle. The left bit is just too pointy to be the snout of a seal. As for the reverse, once more, we have an incus pattern. This time, instead of simply punching a hole in, the die engravers made a square divided in 4 separate sections to give it at least some sort of visual feature. We aren't exactly sure if these coins were made by the government of Phocaea or by some sort of association of powerful merchants, but it looks like all cities of Ionia were in agreement with the weight standard established by the Phocaeans, as these types of coins are found all over the region, showing they were accepted in other cities. Then let's have a look at one last coin. This is another 1/24th of a stater. So as a curiosity, the smallest denomination in this standard was 1/96th of a stater. Imagine that. It's a minuscule little thing that weighs slightly over 0.1 gram. I would need a microscope to show you such a coin, and I'm sure people lost these all the time. The eventual adoption of separate gold and silver coins was a huge step in making coins more practical. Smaller denominations could be made in pure silver, and this would allow them to be at least a little bit larger, although there are some pretty tiny silver fractions as well. We can't attribute this particular coin to any specific city since it doesn't have any designs on it, other than this swastika-like pattern on the obverse and the reverse. So catalogs typically just attribute this coin to the region of Ionia as a whole. Quite a yellowish hue to this piece. It makes me wonder if it contains more gold than the other 2 previous coins, or if that's just a visual peculiarity of this coin. Gorgeous tiny little things, no? Do you have an Electrum coin or a very early archaic coin in your collection? Let us know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, consider subscribing and leaving a like. Happy collecting, and I'll see you soon.